In a small, decrepit house on the outskirts of a desolate town, lived a man named James. James was known for his fascination with the occult and the supernatural. His house was filled with dusty old tomes and relics of forgotten rituals. Despite the warnings of his few friends, he continued to delve deeper into these dark arts. One stormy night, as the wind howled and the rain lashed against his windows, James discovered an ancient book hidden in the attic. The book was bound in leather that seemed disturbingly like human skin, and the pages were filled with cryptic symbols and incantations. Intrigued, James brought the book to his dimly lit study and began to decipher its contents. Hours passed as he pored over the text, until he found a ritual that claimed to summon a powerful Jinn. The instructions were explicit. It required a circle of salt, a lit black candle, and a drop of blood from the summoner. Driven by a mix of curiosity and recklessness, James prepared the ritual. As the clock struck midnight, he stood in the center of the salt circle, the candle flickering ominously. He pricked his finger and let a drop of blood fall onto the open page of the book. Chanting the incantation in a language long forgotten, the air grew heavy, and an unnatural chill filled the room. Suddenly, the candle's flame turned a sickly green, and a dense fog began to seep from the walls. The fog coalesced into a towering, shadowy figure with glowing red eyes. The Jinn had arrived. Its voice echoed in James' mind, a voice that seemed to come from the depths of 1,000 tortured souls. "Why have you summoned me, mortal?" it demanded. James, trembling but resolute, replied, "I seek knowledge and power." The Jinn's laughter filled the room, a sound that was both alluring and terrifying. "Very well," it said, "but everything comes with a price." Without warning, the Jinn lunged at James, merging with his body. His vision blurred, and he felt an overwhelming presence taking control. He screamed, but no sound escaped his lips. His body convulsed, and his mind was flooded with horrifying visions. Endless deserts of burning sand, ancient cities in ruins, and unspeakable creatures lurking in the shadows. When James finally regained control, he was no longer alone in his mind. The Jinn's voice whispered constantly, urging him to commit dark and vile acts. His once peaceful home became a prison of horrors. At night, the walls seemed to pulse with life, and the shadows moved with sinister intent. Objects would fly across the room, and disembodied whispers filled the air. One night, unable to endure the torment any longer, James tried to reverse the ritual. He found another incantation in the book, one that promised to banish the Jinn. He gathered his remaining strength and began the ritual, but the Jinn fought back. The room shook violently, and the walls cracked, oozing a dark, viscous liquid. The Jinn's laughter echoed louder, and James felt his soul being torn apart. In a final act of desperation, he screamed the last words of the banishing spell. There was a blinding flash of light, and then silence. James awoke to find himself lying on the floor, the book burnt to ashes beside him. The Jinn was gone, but the house bore the scars of the battle. Deep gouges marred the walls, and an oppressive darkness lingered in the air. Though the Jinn was banished, James was left a broken man, haunted by the memories of what he had unleashed. His once vibrant curiosity was replaced by a deep, unending fear. He lived out his days in solitude, a cautionary tale of the dangers that lurk in the pursuit of forbidden knowledge.